Hello and welcome to Community Link. My name is Christian Hoffman. I'm the Vice President for Public Relations and Development at Community Missions, and Community Link is our opportunity to talk a little bit about our programs, who it is that we serve, and how that you out in the community might be able to access those services or help us to help anybody that's out there in need of help. So I've got a couple of guests here today. To my right is Kathy Chase, the Events and Volunteer Manager at Community Missions, and then to her right is Keyona Dunn, our Kitchen and Pantry Supervisor, and we'll get to them in just a moment. Wanted to catch you up on everything that's been going on around Community Missions, busy times. In particular, we're going to be talking about what we've spent a lot of our time over the past few weeks dealing with, and that is our Holiday Help Program. The Holiday Help Program helps families out in the community that might need a little bit of help during this holiday season in providing presents and some food to really celebrate the holidays and such. And we'll get into how you can help out with that. We certainly do need a lot of help to make it all happen. We have over 200 families that will have brighter and merrier holidays because of you out there being able to help us out in that way. We also need some holiday food donations as well. So we give out some food around Thanksgiving time and around Christmas time both. So we definitely, we are doing okay at this point, at least on turkeys and hams. But if you would like to purchase those and drop those by our main site on Buffalo Avenue in Niagara Falls, those are always welcome. But especially those holiday trimmings, the fixins as well. So things like the stovetop stuffing and cranberry sauce and green beans and cream mushroom soup. If you'd like to help us out in that way as well, those are always welcome donations. So we'll get into our conversation here, talking about how some of our programs operate, but especially during the holidays here. Again, Kathy Chase to my right and Keyona Dunn to her right. So welcome, everyone.
Hello. Hi.
So we are in the midst of the holiday season now, even though the chill has barely gotten into the air, but we are certainly here and pulling our hair out some days with the holiday programs that we operate at Community Missions, because there's a lot of different ways that we help people. So Keyona, why don't you talk a little bit about some of the ways that we do help out to give out to the community through the food services in particular that you oversee?
So in the community kitchen, we serve our residents at 11. And then throughout the next hour, we serve the community and we open our doors. And we get roughly about 60 people on a daily basis coming through our doors during that time to eat and utilize those services. And then 3 days out the week, on Tuesday, Thursday, and Fridays, we give out food at the food pantry.
Yep. So a lot of different people. So what are some numbers in the pantry? Do you remember? Right now?
It fluctuates, I think, between about 30 people, but if it can be more or less depending on what other services our clients get during that time.
So that's 30 people a day times 3 in a week, right? So that's about 90 times 4 in a month. So it adds up quickly.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So Kathy, talk a little bit about what we're doing during the holidays through our programs as well.
Well, the main thing we do during the holidays is what we're now calling our Holiday Help Program. People might know it as our Christmas Adopt a Family program. As you mentioned earlier, we do rely on people in the community to let us be able to do that program. Those would be the sponsors of the families. So families register. They provide us some documentation of their income eligibility, proof of address, and so forth. And then we take a wish list from the parents for what the kids both want and need. And that really is the main difference between our programs and some other programs. With this individualized wish list, we're able to give the sponsors that want to buy for the family some very specific ideas. So instead of just buying a toy for a 10-year-old boy, we might know that this is a 10-year-old boy that loves science and is really interested in the periodic table. We actually had one boy that was looking for a poster of the elements. So that kid would never get some generic gift that would make him as happy as that. So that's really the unique thing about our program.
And there's a lot of different ways that people can help us in that program as well, right?
Yes, we do have lots of volunteers that help us organize it. that call the families and take the information, that let families know when their gifts are in, that actually physically even organize the gifts when they are brought back to the mission. And so there's a lot of administrative and behind the scenes work. And then really most important of all is the sponsors that want to sign up and get a family or more than one family.
Yes, that's right. So volunteers is also very important for you, Keyona, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So talk about all the different ways that you utilize volunteers.
So we also have a clothes closet at the mission, and that is where we give out household items or clothing, and the volunteers really help out with sorting our donations. We even wash our items for the most part, and they do that. In the Food Pantry, they are the ones that are putting in a lot of work, passing out the food, bagging it up, preparing it before we even open. And then in the kitchen, we also they help out serving the community as the people come in to eat. So volunteers is definitely abundant and blissful to have.
Absolutely. And Kathy is our events and volunteer manager who oversees the whole volunteer program. Anything else you want to say in general about volunteers?
Well, that you can sign up on our website. If you click on Help Us or I Want to Help, either way, you'll see something that says volunteering.
Yep.
And just follow that until you get to a form. And it's a very simple contact form where you say what days and times you might be available or not available, and if you have any thoughts about what you want to do. But actually, even there, we will individually match you with something that would work with your schedule and your interests and your experience. So.
We absolutely could not meet all the demands that Community Missions offers to people, certainly without volunteers. Certainly in the kitchen, the pantry, the clothes closet, every day. We've got multiple volunteers making it all happen.
And in our own office.
And in our office as
Yes.
well, in public relations, for
Yes.
sure.
And I like the fact that we also hire our volunteers.
Yes.
If the work ethic is there and they're really, suitable for a position, it's always nice to have and get that experience.
Yeah.
I do say it's a great way for people to see what we do and learn about our programs. And, that also is a way to build up your resume. So there's lots of reasons to volunteer, but that's one of them.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So we've talked a little bit about some of the services and such, but people at home might be interested in actually accessing some of these services. So talk a little bit about who can come to the kitchen, how that works, and then the pantry also.
So our community kitchen is open to the public, to anyone that would like to come over and have a meal with us. Our pantry is by district, and there are other pantries around that if we cannot serve you, then you can utilize that pantry. I believe on 211 they can find that information. But we also do emergency food services. So we try not to turn anyone away. So even if you're not in our district, we can serve you one time a year. So that's a blessing. And
Yep.
yeah.
So, with that, people are going to have questions with the pantry. So certainly 211, like you said, is probably the best thing you can do. Feed More, also you can look up Feed More, and they have a pantry locator. So you put in your address, and it will tell you where the local pantries are for you. So that's a neat thing. And then there's a little bit of confusion right now, honestly, because our local district right around us is in some flux as well, right?
Correct. One of our food pantries that serves a lot of people in the community are closing their doors. However, Feed More have guided us that there will be a new pantry opening up a block away from it.
Okay.
So that's good.
So absolutely, if anybody ever has questions about the pantry, just call us at 285-3403. Just ask the front desk some information. They should be able to answer it, or if it's something more specific, certainly they could transfer to Keyona or to the pantry in general to answer some questions. But then also, people might have some needs for Christmas as well within the Christmas program.
Yes, absolutely. We expect we will get people contacting us right up until Christmas. Right now, we have a waiting list, and so I do tell people if you are interested, go ahead and sign up. It is also on our website, and in that case, you click on I need help, and it says holiday help, and it will take you to a page to fill out a pre-registration, and then if for some reason we cannot serve you or even put you on the waiting list, we'll refer you to another location that we think could help you.
Yeah.
we do only serve Niagara County, I should say.
Yes.
Erie County has many more Christmas programs than Niagara County does. So if people are listening to this that happen to be in Erie County, you're in luck. Just call 211 and they'll tell you where to register down there. But in Niagara County, you can go ahead and pre-register, and right now you'll be on a waiting list, but we'll try to help every family that comes along.
So this is a special time of year, certainly for people, for everyone, and certainly around our holidays at Community Missions as well. What do you remember over the years of the Christmas program? Any highlights that have really stuck with you that inspire you on the tough days?
Actually, something, I heard an inspiring response the other day from a woman who had called to register her daughter, and I remembered the situation. The daughter last year was suffering from extreme anxiety and had just been diagnosed, and they were struggling to get her on a medication that might help her. She was not able to really function or go to school. And the mom called this year and said that her daughter had gotten on an appropriate mental health treatment and medication plan, was able to finish high school at home, and has now been accepted into college for next semester and is doing much better. And I remembered that family and the situation. I would also say that reminds me that one way our program is different is we do serve older kids. Many programs only serve ages 12 and under, but we feel that especially young teens really need some extra attention at Christmas. They're old enough to not believe in Santa anymore. They know their parents are struggling often. They're not yet able to earn any money on their own, and yet they see other kids having things, and we want them to have a good Christmas too. So I have many stories about those.
Right.
But especially I would say if you'd be willing to sponsor, if somebody is willing to sponsor a family with a teen or a preteen, those are one of our greatest needs.
Absolutely, we get lots of requests for for the little ones, and who doesn't like to go baby shopping, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that is fun, even for the dads here that have some older ones and such. But absolutely, that is a big need for us because it does make us different. So, in case you haven't been with us from the beginning, my name is Christian Hoffman. I'm the Vice President for Public Relations and Development at Community Missions. We serve all of Niagara County, and we're talking a little bit about how we help out during the holidays here on Community Link. To my right is Kathy Chase, our Events and Volunteer Manager, and to her right is Keyona Dunn, our Kitchen and Pantry Supervisor. Keyona, how long have you been with us at the mission?
So I really started working with Community Missions back in 2007 when I first got into the human service field, and I stayed about 3 years, and then I ventured off, and I just recently came back a year ago.
Okay.
So
what kind of memories, I guess, from the first go-around brought you back to the second go-around that you wanted to come back again?
it's funny you ask that because after COVID, a lot of employees are calling it the boomerang. When you go back to your previous employee. And just the mission of the work that we do, so many different programs and departments, and so it was always respect, loyalty, and the compassion. Get rid of compassion, right? So I think that's what it is that brought me back around this time.
Wonderful, and we're glad to have you back and
Thank you.
doing very important work and frontline work.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
10,000 steps a day.
I believe that, certainly, for sure. So let's reset a little bit. So again, we're talking about the Holiday Help Program and our kitchen and pantry in particular, how we, kind of serve the community through food services. And so